It was a warm afternoon at the bustling La Bella Mall. Families strolled along the open-air corridors, children laughed as they played near the fountains, and shoppers carried bags filled with their latest finds. Seated on a metal chair outside a coffee shop, Marcus Bennett lit a cigarette. He leaned back, enjoying a rare moment of peace. Dressed in casual jeans and a leather jacket, he looked like any other visitor to the mall. But Marcus wasn't just anyone. He was an undercover FBI agent on a covert surveillance operation. Officer Rick Connolly stood a few feet away, leaning against a patrol car. Connolly had served on the local police force for a decade, but his record was riddled with complaints of racial profiling and excessive force. Today his eyes locked on Marcus. Something about the man's calm demeanor and the color of his skin stirred the officer's suspicions. Connolly approached with an air of authority, his hand resting on the holster of his gun. "Hey, you!" he barked. "What are you doing here?" Marcus exhaled a stream of smoke and glanced up. "Sitting," he replied calmly. "What's your name?" Connolly demanded. "Why do you need to know?" Marcus asked, his voice measured. He had dealt with men like Connolly before and recognized the tone instantly. "You match the description of a suspect we're looking for," Connolly said, his gaze hardening. Marcus raised an eyebrow. "What suspect is that?" Connolly hesitated for a split second. "A robbery suspect." "Now stand up and let me see some ID." Marcus took a final drag of his cigarette before extinguishing it beneath his shoe. "Officer, you're making a mistake. I'm not who you're looking for." "We'll see about that," Connolly shot back. Without waiting for a response, he grabbed Marcus by the arm and yanked him to his feet. Several mall-goers stopped to watch the scene unfold, their murmurs growing louder. "Hey, take it easy," Marcus said, his voice rising slightly. "I know my rights. You have no probable cause to arrest me." Connolly smirked. "We'll see how much you know down at the station." He cuffed Marcus roughly and began leading him toward the patrol car. As the crowd grew, so did the tension. A woman pulled out her phone to record, capturing Marcus calmly stating, "I'm an FBI agent. You're making a huge mistake." Connolly ignored him. "Yeah, sure you are. Save it for the judge." At the station, things unraveled quickly. Marcus's credentials were verified within minutes of his arrival. The moment the supervising officer realized who Marcus was, the room fell silent. Connolly's smug demeanor evaporated as his colleagues stared at him in disbelief. Marcus, now uncuffed, stood tall. "You profiled me because of the way I look," he said, his voice steady but sharp. "You're supposed to protect and serve, not harass innocent people. You knew I wasn't your suspect, but you arrested me anyway." Connolly stammered. "You matched the description?" "I was just doing my job." Marcus shook his head. Your job, your job is to uphold the law, not abuse it. I'll be filing a formal complaint." True to his word, Marcus pursued legal action. The lawsuit gained national attention, sparking debates about systemic racism in law enforcement. The video recorded at the mall went viral, showing Connolly's aggressive arrest and Marcus's calm assertions of his rights. Public outrage grew as Marcus detailed the humiliation he endured. In court, Marcus's legal team presented a damning case. They highlighted Connolly's history of complaints, his blatant disregard for protocol, and his failure to verify Marcus's identity before making the arrest. Witnesses from the mall testified about the officer's unnecessary force and hostile demeanor. The jury deliberated for less than a day before delivering their verdict. Connolly was found liable for misconduct and racial profiling. The department was ordered to pay a substantial settlement to Marcus, and Connolly was dismissed from the force. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed Marcus. "Mr. Bennett, how do you feel about today's outcome?" one asked. Marcus adjusted his tie and looked directly into the camera. "This isn't just about me. It's about holding people accountable and making sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. Justice was served today, but the fight for equality continues." The case became a catalyst for change in the department. Policies were revised, officers underwent mandatory bias training, and an independent oversight committee was established. Marcus's ordeal was a stark reminder of the work that remained, but it also ignited hope for a fairer future. As for Connolly, he faded into obscurity, his career a cautionary tale of the consequences of prejudice and abuse of power. Marcus, however, continued his work with renewed determination, knowing that even in the face of injustice, the truth would prevail.